Kilda. The Saints won the toss. They're kicking to the scoreboard end, and to check whether that will be an advantage or not, let's join Michael Roberts.
Well, a great deal hinges on this game, therefore it should be a pressure contest all day in conditions that look threatening. The current temperature at the moment is 20.3 degrees Celsius, the expected top 21, the relative humidity 61%. The wind is up to 5 to 10 kilometres with a 3-goal advantage blowing to the left of screen, almost straight down the ground. The ground is firm. Yeah, pretty excellent after yesterday's rain, and the forecast reads cloudy periods with a few showers.
Michael Roberts will be keeping us up to date with on-ground activity during the match as we check the record of these two clubs, and you'll see that Carlton has a big winning advantage with 143 over St Kilda 29. They've won 8 of their last 9, but significantly the last 3 matches have been less than a goal between the two clubs. So other games today, Hawthorn and Richmond, and Footscray and West Coast. Will be keeping you up to date with progressive scores, also showing you the highlights of the Footscray-West Coast clash at half-time. Easter's a split round, 1 match tomorrow, 3 games on Monday, and this is going to be exciting.
Steven Silvagni going down to Lockett.
Rhys-Jones at centre-half back.
So no real surprise there with Silvagni on Lockett.
Well, Ian picked that, but I thought they'd play David Kernahan on Lockett.
And this big crowd gives up a mighty roar to start this match. Gleeson with a little one. Verbeek tried to get it away. So did Bassett. Alvin missed Matchajak's body. Winmar. And it'll be a ball up.
Well, it's pretty desperate stuff by Carlton. They've got Kernahan in the ruck. He's made his name as a centre-half forward. They named Dunlop there, but they're obviously trying to get him back into form.
And he wins the tap down. Tap forward by Nayley, playing his first game for 1990.
One thing, Bruce, about Steven Kernahan playing in the ruck, Donny can't be tagged there.
Well, he can't. It's a very difficult position to play centre-half forward when you've got your own opponent, also the ruckman dropping back on you. There's a free kick is given. It's going against Carlton, St Kilda's way.
Kitchke gets it over to Devonport in the back pocket. Played pretty well the last couple of weeks. Pekin nearly caught. Hand pass away to Devonport again. A sneaky little hand pass to Rice is good play by the inexperienced Saints, but a great mark taken by Hannah. Kernahan, rebound football by the Blues. Blackwell gets it over to Meldrum. Meldrum's kick to half forward. The ball just hangs in the breeze. Dennis can't break away. Taps it to the advantage. Now an opportunity for Verbeek. Slips the hand pass wide to Meldrum. Meldrum kicks to the goal square. Marking contest. Kitchke can't mark. He's caught well. Minton Connell was the tackler. Harding gets the hand pass. Out wide, Rice has got 25 metres. Run bounce by Dean Rice. He approaches centre wing and kicks it over that position towards half forward. Coming out as Owen, and he takes a good mark in front of his opponent. Rod Owen, a slippery customer for St Kilda, up towards Lockett. Punched away by Silvagni. The first one-on-one contest to Silvagni. Owen's caught. Reasonable tackle by Kernahan. Meldrum there to help out in defence, and the kick goes wide. It's Bassett at half-back.
To centre wing, looking for Matchazak, but out of bounds on the full. So a St Kilda kick, Jeffrey, from centre wing. Big crowd in attendance. Very good conditions considering the rain we had in Melbourne last night. Kernahan played as a ruckman when I was calling the footy back in Adelaide in the early 80s and really made a name for himself there. Great player. Grant took the handball from Laurie. Left foot. Kernahan and Owen. Was Kernahan over the back? Lockett with Rhys-Jones.
Rhys-Jones is down.
And looks hurt. Silvagni's handball to Alvin. And he comes wide to Dennis. Lowe's with him. Verbeek missed the body. Good tackle applied by McKinnon. It's fast and it's furious. And it's just what you'd expect on Scott.
It is, and Rhys-Jones now getting up. He's all right after that clash with Lockett. And it's on again now at centre-half forward for St Kilda. You can see there a group of players involved. Play on centre wing.
Gleeson can't get the ball out. Runs into more trouble as he tries to break clear onto the left foot. And he's awarded a free kick. Perhaps a little fortunate there, Gleeson. because it didn't look too bad, the St Kilda tackles. Gleeson's kick towards half-forward, and the mark is taken by Dennis.
Interesting match-up. Dennis at centre half-forward on the big low.
Dennis's kick is marked by Verbeek. Verbeek kicks to the front of the square. There's no one home for Carlton. Coming out in defence is Harding. Kitchke's caught. This pace is a cracker. It'll find a few of the youngsters out who don't know too much about the pressures of this football. Kitchke's tap out wide. Devonport. He's done pretty well in the opening minutes. He's his third possession. The hand pass goes to Laurie. Laurie in the centre. Usually a magnificent kick. This is no exception. But Owen falls over. Swooping on it, Russo. Meldrum there for Carlton. David Kernahan. Picked up nicely by Burke. Burke's kick into the pocket. Rhys-Jones out of position, but plays it magnificently. And still does it pretty well to get past. Winmar. Meldrum. The hand pass is blocked. Elvin was there to give us a bit of assistance. The kick off the ground goes to half-forward, and Kernahan, who's done pretty well in the opening minutes, is a ruckman. Hannah should never have given it to Gleeson. Gleeson in trouble. Caught with the ball, somehow gets it out to Blackwell. Blackwell's kick towards centre half-forward will be marked by Kitchke, and he does pretty well, the St Kilda big man, to hold up that promising Carlton attack.
Just gives a little one off to Jeffrey, to centre half-forward. Kernahan with a drop on it. Harvey. To the pocket. It's got Nixon. Lockett. Silvagni. He should run away from him. And he does. Kernahan has to work. This is David. And it'll be a throw-in.
Well, it's going to be an interesting battle between Silvagni and Lockett. Last year they were pitted against one another, and honours went Lockett's way.
Kicked 10-7 out of 13-18 that day. McKinnon. Good little kick, actually, under pressure. And again, a throw-in. Well, Don, this must be the biggest game for a lot of the St Kilda players. They wouldn't have been involved in such a big match. How do you think they're settling?
Well, surprisingly, talking about the crowd, they have got a tremendous following, even when they were down on the bottom of the ladder, and all it requires a little few wins and brings them out.
Cracker, smothered by Meldrum. Long handball by Lowe. Russo caught by Alvin. Just took too long. Winmar tries a great kick, and I reckon he's gold. What a shot! Through.
Bounce back in the centre. Dunlop's on the ball. Kitchke. Carlton gets through for McKinnon. Up towards half-forward. Kick off the ground by Devonport. Finishes up with Burke. On to Harvey. Harvey's kick towards half-forward's marked by Cracker. Little bit of good fortune. Cracker's kick out in front of Lockett. Lockett, could that be paid? No. Play-on, says the umpire. Nixon picks up. Forced to kick with the left. To the front of the goal square. Blackwell can't mark. Rhys-Jones is back there and hurries it through. So a rush behind to the Saints.
Paul Meldrum will really have to tighten his game up. He gave Jimmy Cracker too much latitude on that occasion, and Cracker nearly hit Lockett with the pass.
Silvagni playing at full back on Lockett. Elects to kick the ball straight up the ground. Has a push out. It's been allowed to carry on. Alvin can't break clear. Tap out by Kitchke. Bassett's hand pass over the top. Good fortune. Bradley running beautifully. Bradley. The kick high. Verbeek can't mark. Just gets his hand to the ball. Nearly a clash between Verbeek. Bradley. Burke was the St Kilda player. Bradley's kick to half forward. Good punch away. Majizak nearly caught. Kernahan. A pass. No, it's not. It's a snapshot. And he just misses to the left. Steven Kernahan's first score is a behind.
And interesting, Kernahan now at centre half forward, and Dunlop obviously has gone into the ruck.
Laurie short to Harding, and he's got some space, and Rice will give it the run, and the handball's good. Now Harvey's on a lead. He goes to centre half forward though. High one. Hannah in the front spot. Quick handball by Blackwater. Hannah to Jones. Alvin, he set him up. Rice has got him. Russo. Pekin. Lockett. No. Cracker off the ground, but beaten to the punch by Meldrum. Harvey and Alvin. Still Harvey and Alvin.
The desperate stuff by Alvin then.
I reckon another 5,000 or 6,000 have come into the ground since.
It's a great crowd, Bruce, isn't it? You know, I think this is a credit because St Kilda have played well for the 2 weeks, and the Blues, this could be their last chance.
Over 50,000, you reckon, at the moment, and they're really roaring. They like what they're seeing. Gleeson. Oh, too slow there by Bassett. Owen and Hannah and Kernahan. David Kernahan off the ground. Owen, an awkward one. And tries to break clear and can't. McKinnon had an airy, but then gave it away to Nixon. Now Lockett one out with Silvagni. Is it a goal? It is. Two-1 to a point. The Saints in front by 2 goals.
Well, who do you give that goal to, Lockett or Nixon? It was Nixon who kicked the ball. It was a long ball right on the edge of the square, but here's the pushing and shoving done by Lockett. 1, 2, and the third bounce right on the line. A desperate effort by Silvagni. An interesting Nixon, a former Carlton player, hasn't played too many games because of injury.
She ought to have given the goal to the goal umpire. What a great decision right on the line. Tap out by Dunlop. Gleeson, oh, over the top, Kitchke. Free kick goes to Gleeson. He gets the hand pass off to Bradley. Bradley's left foot kick is a little bit of a high one, up towards full forward. Punched away. Swooping on it nearly was Nailey. McKinnon just gets the kick wide. Opportunity for Verbeek. He gives it across towards Kernahan. Great play there by Nathan Burke. He took on a man probably 8 or 9 inches taller. Dennis is caught, and his kick is forced over the boundary line. Saint fans are ecstatic. The enthusiastic Saints, they're really taking it right up to Carlton. Boundary throw in. Kernahan, Burke, Harvey. Kick is marked by Gleeson. He plays on quickly. Shocker. Fortunately, comes to Bradley. Back to Gleeson. He fumbles. Stop Blair, Isaacson. Left foot kick into the pocket. Punched away by Frawley. Opportunity for Alvin. McKinnon's on the end of the hand pass. McKinnon's kick into the pocket is marked by Harding. Harding in the back pocket clears for the Saints.
And he had 3 options, Ian. He had Harvey, Grant and Rice. Take your pick. Pekin. Bradley, he ran off Bradley very cleverly. Bradley was going to put the pressure on Nixon. Quick tackle by Dunlop, but he got the kick away, and a free kick down the ground. Yes, and it'll go to Jimmy Cracker. Well, we've got to watch for Tony Lockett here. No, it's coming back. Coming back to Nixon, who's about 70 metres from the goal front. Has Owen on a lead, and Lockett goes towards Lockett. Oh, courage by Hannah.
Actually, Bruce, that's where Jamie Dunlop, you can see him wandering around with his hands on his hips at the full-back position. He should be up there blocking, and Hannah shouldn't be doing that type of thing.
Meldrum's wobbly one to McKinnon, who's had a lot of touches. Gleeson. That was better. Verbeek. Kernahan. And he's got it. Probably too far out. Go to the goal square. Minton Connell. Mazajak. Nailey waited it for bounce. It didn't sit for him. And it'll be a throw in.
I know we've only played 12 minutes of this first quarter, but Carlton well, it's reminiscent of the game last week. They're more polished than the opposition, but the opposition just claw away, and Carlton will have to watch it.
Kernahan's left footer, Frawley underneath it. Oh, Kitchke dropped it. Frawley, Kitchke, free kick to Kitchke, or Frawley is going to.
So that was a bit fortunate.
Absolutely. Handball to Harvey, and he's got a little bit of space.
Harvey's in the left back pocket. After one bounce, steadies and kicks it out towards the wing. Good punch away by Bradley. Hannah. Hand pass over the top, McKinnon. McKinnon's kick is good. Verbeek on his own by 10 metres. Pass into the pocket, Dennis. And Don, you've picked it. They've got some class, but persistence certainly pays off in footy these days, doesn't it?
Well, you can drag the opposition down, Ian, if you just keep persisting. It doesn't matter how good they are.
Dennis's kick is okay. Kernahan's lead was pretty good. And Lowy seems a little overawed, do you think, Don?
Well, I think it's a tremendous battle between these two. Last year, they were both centre-half forwards. Low centre-half forward for St Kilda, now playing at centre-half back. And between these two, what a terrific marking contest they had throughout the year. First and second on the VFL table as far as marks taken between Lowe and Kernahan.
Steven Kernahan's usually a pretty reliable kick for goal. And the Blues at the moment are trailed by 2 straight goals, 2-1. to 1 behind. So Stephen Kernahan can make the difference. 6 points with this kick. Drop punt kick. Comes back with the breeze. He's not prepared to commit himself. The goal umpire is.
Beacon Kitschke. Laurie, who's settled into the St Kilda side like the other recruits very well. Meldrum missed it. Owen. Nixon, who's been busy in the forward line. Again Meldrum. Nayley and Blackwell together. Bradley takes 2 steps and bounces and then goes to centre half forward. And a good floating mark taken by the Blues. Matchazak to the pocket. Midton Connell used his body well. Gleeson with a chance. And his left foot snap has hit the post.
He should have centred that, Bruce. Kernahan was by himself, a little selfish on that occasion. He could have brought it back into the centre and Kernahan would have been by himself. And Kernahan more is playing in the forward pocket. He got Verbeek, a very small half-forward line, Carlton. Verbeek at centre half forward.
Laurie kicks the ball into the outer half-back flank. Oh, Pekin read it pretty well. Marking contest, the ball comes to the back and Pekin after 2 bounces. Oh, bad fumble. Shocking fumble. Carlton might get back out of this. Majazak looking for the hand pass. Now, left foot kick. Jeffrey underneath it. Takes a great mark and courageous at that. Russell Jeffrey, short pass, finds Harding. Harding plays on quickly. Left foot kick by that player to centre half forward. No one home for St Kilda. Harvey spills what he probably should have taken. And the umpire will come in and ball it up. What a terrific contest between these two teams. The Saints desperate to assert their authority on the game, and Carlton striving hard to get their first points for the season. Dunlop, Nixon gets the tap out. Blackwell, he's caught, dispossessed by Russo. Attempted quick kick off the ground by McKinnon. Russo held when he didn't have it. Umpire in a great position, and the free kick will go to Peter Russo. 1 out in the goal square. Lockett and Silvagni. Lockett. No, Silvagni spoils well. Nayley's back there to give him some assistance. Hand pass is fierce, but Dunlop is able to control it. Blackwell in the back pocket. Kick is too far. Oh, great play by Bassett. Somehow he got back there. Bradley back over the top to Bassett. Bassett, Don, you're impressed. No, there's a free kick.
I think that was for throwing the ball. Throwing the ball.
Against Bradley?
Against Bradley, he more or less scooped it over his head.
Well, those can sometimes be allowed, but on this occasion the umpires pulled it up, and Nixon will take the free kick for St Kilda.
And goes to full forward. Straight to David Kernahan, who again has started well like he did last week. Wide. Dennis on a lead. Kitschke with him. McKinnon. She's made a good start. Awkward kick into the centre. Harding missed it. Just lays it off to Nixon. Long drop punt and gets some distance. Lockett from the back. Oh, Dunlop should have taken it. Had a lot of Carlton players around him and lost confidence. Nixon, Nayley's handball was good to Meldrum. Matchazak, he's got it. And Verbeek does the right thing by shepherding. 2 bounces. And then comes to centre half forward to Kernahan. No, to Bradley. To Bassett. Oh, terrible kick. Nothing in that. He was looking for Alvin. They were trying to finesse and didn't get away with it.
Shocking kick by Bassett.
St Kilda made a change. Harding at centre half forward and Nixon now with the ball at centre half back.
And he's getting some touches. Oh, Wingmar took off early. It's got to be Blackwell. So Blackwell from centre half back. I hope you're enjoying it at home because it's very exciting here at VFL Park. A tremendous atmosphere. Great crowd in, and they're seeing footy at its best. Dennis in the front spot.
Well done, Nayley.
Yes, did it well against Cracker. Verbeek. Kitschke over the top. The Saints want a free kick, and they're going to get one.
Well, Don, I don't know whether what you like to say about those decisions. They're hard to read, aren't they?
I was more interested in what Nayley did when he went off the ball. He let an elbow go, and nearly a bit of a dust-up between players as Rhys-Jones takes a good mark.
The kick from Nixon, as Don has said, marked by Rhys-Jones at centre half back. He's got a player on his own. It's Dunlop on the members' wing. Running pretty well as Hannah off half back. 1 bounce, and he crashes his way through, but he's held it too long.
Oh, yeah.
But he's backed himself, and somehow he slipped the tackle. Verbeek can't mark. At half forward for the Blues, Laurie. Gee, he's good with his pinpointing kicks as Grant Laurie. Burke's kick. a floater, but it's okay. It's marked by Harding at half forward for St Kilda. Paul Harding, short pass. Is it too high? Yes, it is. And Hannah marks in front of Winmar as Winmar drops his chin. The hand pass goes off to Blackwell. The Blues are running well out of defence. Blackwell's kick is wide, looking out there for Elvin. Jeffrey over the top. Spoils well, but Elvin's the quickest to recover. Elvin, cat-like, in towards the forward pocket. Kernahan can't mark, a la Jason Dunstall, and the ball slews over the boundary line for a throw-in.
That was classical for a young chap watching football. What Elvin did then, get in front. You're always the first to recover, and he was on that occasion. Although the ball was punched away by Jeffrey, it was Elvin quickly onto the ball.
13-8, the Saints in front. Kernahan uses his body and did it well. Alvin tried to get a quick kick away. Jeffrey and Kernahan over it. And it'll be a bounce down 50 metres out. Carlton attacking, as they've done for a lot of this quarter. And it's surprising they're behind, because they've probably had 65% of the play. Kernahan over the back. Nixon's quick kick away. Only went about 10 metres. Bradley. Handball was good to McKinnon. Got it about 10 metres closer to goal. Jeffrey taps it on cleverly to Laurie, who shows some skill. Second bounce. Jimmy Cracker. Where's Lockett? Couldn't get that far. Rhys-Jones did it, and did it very well. Blackwell. Dunlop. Meldrum. Carlton's defence is standing up at this stage. Bradley. Backwards to Bassett. Short one to Majizak. And they set it up again to Gleeson. Bradley gives him some run. Will he go to him? Runs around. Kernahan on a lead. Too far for him. Minton Connell. Frawley. Kernahan with a chance now. Alvin's in the goal square. If he can get it over to him. Couldn't quite. Trying to crash his way through with a handball away was Jeffrey. Nixon ducked his head.
Oh, I think he ducked into that. He was going down as he copped it around the ears.
So he did pretty well, Ricky Nixon, there, because it was a tough situation. Hemmed in on the boundary line. Free kick out towards half-back. No mark taken. Pekin gets the hand pass to Rice. Rice steadies. Delivers the pass short to Jimmy Cracker. Cracker's high bomb towards half-forward. Russo and Meldrum. Meldrum punches it away from Russo. Russo does pretty well. Keeps his body in front, but Meldrum dispossesses. Great play, Meldrum. Hand pass. Rhys-Jones is caught. Harvey desperate. Rhys-Jones now. Cool customer. Blackwell. That defence you mentioned, Bruce, doing pretty well. Ball comes out towards Rice, and he knocks the ball away from Bassett over the boundary line.
Nixon's had 10 kicks in the first quarter. In the first, 20 minutes, Ricky Nixon.
Fantastic performance there. The difference is 5 points in St Kilda's favour, and the ball is on exact centre wing on the outer side. Kitchke. Doing the roving was Gleeson. Bradley dispossessed by Grant. The ball over the boundary line for another throw-in much the same place as the previous one.
Game shaping very much like it was last week for Carlton against Collingwood on that day.
Dunlop. Bradley. Good ruck work by Dunlop. Kick is marked by Dennis. No, play on. Held it for half an hour, wasn't paid. Anyway, play on. Elvin. Dennis. Now he calls play on the umpire. Dennis slips it, tackles, kicks it towards full forward. Out comes Frawley. What a cruel bounce. Kernahan. Crude tackle. Free kick to Frawley.
See, they're playing with a lack of confidence, Carlton. Milton Connell behind on that occasion. Dennis looking for leads. They're playing like statues on the forward line. No movement at all.
Grant's mark was a good one. Yes, Dennis's kick wasn't all that good. And neither's that from Grant. Off the side of the boot. Rice and Majizak. Well, Majizak now. Was Bassett before. Alvin's handball to Bradley. Left foot. Minton Connell from behind. Kernahan. Punched away by Lowe. Verbeek. 40 metres out. Left foot. Missed by a long, long way. As there's a change for the Saints. Harvey off and Bowie coming on. Brett Bowie playing in his 26th match today, just 20 years of age. And still the Saints lead by 5 points. Low scoring but exciting first term. Dunlop set himself and took a beauty. Goes short and goes very, very poorly. But Laurie missed it but was able to recover and then torpedoed the ball to the centre wing. Hannah and Winmar. That's an interesting duel. Meldrum. Drop punt to centre half forward. Kernahan couldn't take it. Jeffrey did it and did it very well, and will get a free kick as it'll come back to him.
Why wouldn't an advantage rule be paid there, Don, in that situation where the punch was nearly as good as a kick?
Yeah, but the player infringed before the ball went from the actual area. I question that. There was a similar incident last week, and the incident happened before the ball had left that the vicinity.
Devonport's kick towards half forward. Carlton have the numbers. Bowie, good play by Bowie because he ran 30 metres. Majazak's well caught, gets the hand pass away to Gleeson. Gleeson goes to Dunlop. Dunlop's hand pass is a little too far for Verbeek, but he's got enough time to recover. The kick into the pocket, a little short for Minton Connell. Frawley, good strong play by Danny Frawley. And the defensive work forces it over the boundary line.
They're handling the ball a lot, Carlton, but they're not positive in what they're doing with it. They're going short.
Kitchke in front of Kernahan. Kernahan gets the tap out. Nailey does pretty well. Sneaky little hand pass to McKinnon. McKinnon should goal. 40 metres out, directly in front, and he does.
Who's in front? Cracker caught. Dunlop's quick handball only as far as Cracker. Gleeson taps it forward and does it well. Verbeek looked for a free kick. Majazak fell over. McKinnon has been very good in this first term. Verbeek to Kernahan was excellent. He didn't have a lot of room to move. Now Kernahan to Minton Connell. No Alvin. It was going to go to Minton Connell, and Alvin ran into the space and took the mark, and we're in the final minute of the first term. And Don Carlton has worked very hard to get back level, and a goal here will be handy. It'll give them a little bit of breathing space.
McKinnon, six kicks and 5 hand passes, Bruce.
She's made a good start, hasn't he?
Yeah, terrific.
Strong body, and he's been very safe with his hands. Alvin from 35 metres. High drop punt. It's a good kick. So the Blues go to 3-2. St Kilda 2-1.
Well, he is impressing me each time I see this man, Tommy Alvin. For a number of years, he just couldn't bridge the gap between first. He was a great player in reserve grade. Now he's playing the type of football he played in that reserve grade in a senior football, and he's really becoming a consummate footballer. Tommy Alvin.
See, what a great kick for a man who probably struggles a little bit with his kicking. Perfect. Bounce back in the centre. Bradley read it pretty well. Got the kick away towards half forward, but a perfect mark taken by Jeffrey at centre half back for St Kilda. He'll play on. Maybe there's not enough time for either side to score. It's back in the centre. Alvin couldn't quite control the ball. Dunlop, tap on. Rice intercepts for St Kilda. Only seconds left in this first quarter. Russo, if he can gather the ball, they're a chance. No, they're not, because there's the siren. And at quarter time, Carlton in an entertaining first quarter at VFL Park. Lead by 7 points. The Blues 3-2-20. St Kilda 2-1-13.
Carlton really are handling the ball a little bit too much for my liking. They should be getting the ball down quicker. It's reminiscent of the game against Collingwood last week. They obliterated Collingwood in the first quarter in possession-wise, but did not capitalise on the scoreboard, and that's going to be the problem they'll have to maintain.
Statistics certainly in favour of the Blues. They've had 111 possessions to 69, and the marks certainly in favour of the Blues. Interesting, free kicks 12-4 in favour of the Saints.
Michael Roberts.
Yes, great excitement in both camps. Kenny Sheldon pointed out the fact that they've got so much potential on the ball. They've got to use it more, get it out of the centre quickly, get it down to Tony Lockett, and if they can't find him, use other options. Jezza was very happy with the way they worked the ball up into the breeze, go long and direct. A real sense of urgency in the Carlton camp.
Stuart Lowe at centre half forward with Rhys-Jones on him.
Harding a centre half back on Kernahan.
And you'd have to say Carlton kicking to the scoring end, scoreboard end. Michael Roberts suggested 3 goals advantage at the beginning of the match. Well, it's a low-scoring game so far, and the Blues will be pretty happy with their position.
Better effort by Dunlop at the centre bounce then, because it's Kitchie who's got a good leap, and Dunlop really hasn't got up there and made a contest.
Well, he wins that, Don, and thumps it 30 metres towards the goal, and it runs another 20. Nixon did very well to tap it away from Majazak. Jeffrey, named in the centre but playing in defence as he has in the other couple of games this year, and it'll be a throw in at half forward, the Blues in attack. So big test for St Kilda here. Their 2 wins have been conclusive over Footscray and West Coast, but they find themselves behind a class side in the early stages of this match. Nixon tried to handball it away, and Jeffrey went to the safety of the boundary line again. Over 50,000 in attendance. Kitschke the front spot. Verbeek found some space. Left foot smothered by Harding. Alvin looks for a free kick. Still Alvin. Now McKinnon, who was very, very good in the first quarter, to the pocket. Laurie. Left foot. Doesn't get a lot of distance. Wants Nixon and finds him. Nixon, who had 10 kicks in that first term.
He's played very well, Ricky Nixon. Little gingerly gets himself up off the turf. Kicking towards the centre's a poor one. Anticipating well was Bassett. And the ball probably held up favourably for Bassett to take the mark. Left foot kick by that player into the pocket. Minton Connell, good mark.
He's quite an amazing player, Minton Connell. I call him Milton Connell all the time. It's Minton Connell from Tasmania, and that was a good mark considering that Frawley is a very strong body player, and you can see there the types of bodies on the respective players. Bigger body on Frawley, not so big, but well read on that occasion by Minton Connell. Also Russo off for St Kilda. Harvey back on.
So Minton Connell from about 25 metres, slight angle, hooks the kick and misses what he should have kicked. So his first scorers are behind. The Blues lead by 8 points. Alex Jesaulenko, Mike Fitzpatrick, Rod Ashman and Barry Armstrong in the coach's box, and there's a lot of Carlton games amongst those players. The kick in by Laurie, out towards half-back. Bradley can't mark over the top of Grant. Grant looks as though he's got the tagging role. Jimmy Cracker eludes all tackles. In the centre, kicks it towards centre-half forward. Lowy in front of Rhys-Jones marks. Big hands, big strong body. Hand pass away, Rice. Kick off the ground by Dunlop. Make amends, Stuart Lowy. That's a shocking effort of a tackle there by Dunlop. And an obvious free kick to Lowy on centre wing.
It's a good effort by the big fellow, Lowe. A good effort indeed.
Stuart Lowy now kicks the ball towards centre-half forward. In front. Good mark to Bradley. Gee, reads the play well, Craig Bradley. The ball was always going to drop short. Plays on quickly. Kick towards half forward. Dennis is crunched to the ground. He's able to get up. Laurie. Gleeson. Nixon. Tackle. Gleeson's gone after it twice. Kernahan now gets it to that player. And Adrian Gleeson goes for goal with the left foot. Into the opposite forward pocket. Kitschke can't mark. Frawley under pressure. Jeffrey gets the kick away for the Saints out towards half-back, but Alvin's there for Carlton.
You just get the feeling that the Stampede's about to start. Carlton are swarming at St Kilda, and the Saints are going to have to hold and hold tight in the next 10 minutes.
There is no movement at all on the forward line, and I don't think Alvin will make the distance. He's looking for options, but there's nothing coming.
Well, he's got any breeze that there is behind him. He kicked a great goal in the first quarter, but that was 35 metres out. This is 55. Drop punt to the square. A lot of players up. Kernahan looks for it, and they concede the Saints. Frawley. So 3-4 to 2-1. Tony Lockett standing motionless at the other end and still hasn't had a touch. Laurie to bring her back in. And at this very minute, Carlton are right on top, and if they can put it on the scoreboard, the Saints are going to have to play catch-up footy. Grant. Rice and Bassett. Through Bassett's fingers. Hannah caught. Alvin. Bradley. It's had 14 touches.
Brilliant.
Bassett. Drop punt. Just floating away. Not a good attempt. And
interesting, in the last two kickouts by St Kilda, they've both gone to Grant, or they've looked for Grant. I wonder if that is a ploy, or maybe it's just coincident that the two times it happened, Grant's been there.
Well, he's got the role, we think, on Bradley today, so perhaps they're trying to expose Bradley for lack of checking, but they haven't been able to get the ball out of the area, and again it'll be a bounce down. So 50 metres out, Carlton attacking, leading 3-4 to 2-1.
Umpires Mike Ball and Shane McDonald officiating. Over the top, Dennis, Jeffrey, Gleeson. Coming in, Bassett, Majazak. Left foot kick covers 40 metres. Frawley interfered with by Minton Connell, and Frawley will take the free kick. Perhaps the umpire doubting as to whether St Kilda were going to take the ball away cleanly, so it'll go back to Danny Frawley at full back. Frawley looking for someone further afield to kick to, but he's forced to bomb away out towards half-back. And Kitchke floating across the front of Dunlop takes a good mark in front of that Carlton player. Kitchke. The kick towards centre wing. Lowy can't mark. Opportunity for Grant. He collects it pretty well and gives it off to Jimmy Cracker. Jimmy Cracker's kick towards the half-forward area. The bounce is a little awkward for Blackwell. Running onto it, Winmar. Kick to Lockett. Oh, he nearly got it. But Silvagni's able to take it away. Nathan Burke in front of McKinnon. He's caught. Hand pass back. The Blues may get out of trouble. McKinnon. Meldrum, rather. And the Blues are out of trouble. Meldrum's kick could have probably gone a little bit better to Dennis, but that player and Kernahan at the 50-metre mark kicked off the ground by Jeffrey. And a desperate move by the Saints across half-back.
A magnificent effort by the Carlton backman. It was Kernahan one, then it was Meldrum out there, and McKinnon.
Kernahan doing the ruck work. Peakin's kick out towards the wing. They've got 2-on-1, and Dunlop with strength over Grant takes the mark for the Blues. Jamie Dunlop, there's a lot resting on his shoulders, taking over from Justin Madden. Minton Connell from behind, flies high, can't mark. Harding collects the crumbs, gets it off to Laurie. Laurie with neat, tidy work. Devonport, well caught. Ball just rebounds. Jeffrey doesn't quite get his hand to the ball. Gleeson, short pass. Oh, a little too far. Kernahan in the goal square will kick a Carlton goal.
And it's one-way traffic at the moment. Gleeson.
Doing well, Gleeson, at the moment.
How desperate was that?
Well, his two tackles earlier were magnificent down in the forward pocket. And he is really going in, and the little fellow is showing the way.
8 kicks and 5 handballs he's had. He carried that ball 30 metres. Dunlop and Kitchke. Kitchke wins it. Winmar with Bradley. And Bradley does it well. Off one leg. Only as far as Rice. It must have been touched off the boot. Called play on. Nixon only a short one. Laurie. Devonport. One bounce. They're going wide. Jeffrey. He's got Jimmy Cracker. Didn't get that far. Now Cracker, but free kick to Blackwell.
Blackwell did that pretty well, Don. I thought putting his body in front.
He really did have to do something there. That's where you stand up to be counted. And Carlton, St Kilda have made a change. Kane Taylor coming off and Davenport going off.
So Taylor on for Davenport as Dunlop with a high one to centre half forward. Laurie over the back. McKinnon and Grant. Nathan Burke. A very quick kick. Meldrum too tall for Bowie. David Kernahan goes to the safety of the boundary. And that's a good defender's kick.
A good rugby kick, I think that would be, Bruce.
For touch. And found it, didn't he? So they're standing up to it pretty well, the Blues. And this is the acid test for St Kilda now. Winmar over the back. Alvin. Off the ground by Owen. David Kernahan on hands and knees to Bradley, who's been a big winner today, and so has Gleeson. It's a good kick. It was a great kick to Verbeek. So Verbeek from 60 metres, Minton Connell on the lead. Wants it deep. Call play on. It is deep. Kernahan, Minton Connell. Kernahan falls over, ducks his head, and goes for holding the ball. Well, he had a couple of chances, and Jeffrey's away with 2 bounces, and then drop punts the ball to the centre square, but Verbeek's got it again, not paid. Winmar, still Winmar, over the top. Quick handball on, and it's a good one, and now Rice.
Rice has got room in front of himself. Doing the chasing is Nailey. Just recovered from a hamstring. Rice's kick. Lockett gets a touch. Well tackled by Rhys-Jones. And the Blues stream out of defence. It's Silvagni. They've got 4 players to 1. Jimmy Cracker's the St Kilda player. Coming up is Taylor. Silvagni's hand pass goes to Bassett. Bassett looks for Minton Connell at the back. Can't mark. Punched away by the St Kilda defence. First back is Burke. Minton Connell's there to do the tackling. Burke's kick goes wide to Grant. What a terrible bounce for Grant. Bradley gets the ball and kicks the Carlton side back into attack, and the mark is taken by Harding. Harding plays on, kicks it in towards centre half back. Laurie's on his own. The short pass by Laurie finds Harvey back on the ground. Hand pass over the top to Peake and back to Harvey. Saints a little bit out of trouble. Harvey's kick towards half forward. Just a little short. Kernahan 3-on-1, pushed in the back. And
well,
a little fortunate Don, do you think?
I thought he did it well. I thought he did it well. He really did have to go and get the ball. And he did a good effort.
He's improving, isn't he, David Kernahan, with experience?
Nice series.
Jamie Dunlop recovered from a serious knee injury too. Dunlop running too close. Now tries to tap it to the Carlton player, but Owen Blackwell clears for the Blues, back in towards the centre, mark taken by Winmar, who's got his left knee heavily strapped from the start. Hand pass to Jeffrey. Jeffrey's kick in short, and Dunlop takes the mark, and he's playing well for Carlton.
Now it's St.Kilda who've got the statuesque forward line. Just no movement at all, no one to kick to.
Machacek over the top, and they're growing in confidence. Meldrum with run to full forward, a wobbly one, and Kitchke couldn't take it. Verbeek pushes him out of the way. Still in trouble, St Kilda. Gleeson looks for a free kick. Jeffrey with a quick one. Cracker one-handed. Was he off? No, says the umpire. Lowe tries to provide some movement, and that's the way Cracker will go. Rhys-Jones and Lowe. Hannah was a poor handball. It didn't get to Winmar. Now Grant, Lockett on the lead, but he goes for the goal square and he kicks it quite magnificently, and it's a goal. No touch. Steven Silvagni has had a decision go against him. Will this lift the Saints? It's 3-1 to 4-4.
Gee, Jeffrey's playing well at half-back for St Kilda. Clears and kicks to Winmar, just forward of centre wing. Winmar goes for the long torpedo. It wobbles in the air. Rhys-Jones, a good punch. McKinnon, who was out of it for a little while, played a great first quarter. Dunlop, strong. Hand pass is slightly smothered, but Blackwell backs out of trouble. McKinnon. They've got players running out of defence, the Blues. Gleeson bombs away towards half-forward. Kernahan can't mark. Harding quick to recover and hurries the ball over the boundary line, and it was good play by Paul Harding.
Actually, that was a better build-up by Carlton. Run the ball through the centre, then quickly down to the forward line, and then at least the forwards have the advantage. They may just catch their backmen out.
Under 12 minutes left in the second quarter. The Blues lead by 9 points. 28 plays 19. Kernahan and Kitchke. Majazak, McKinnon, Majazak. Left foot kick slews off the side over the boundary line on the full, so the free kick will be taken in the back pocket for St Kilda by Nixon.
Interesting, Ian. He made his debut in 1983. He's now 27, and in that time he's only played 39 or in the 30s games of football. He's been injury prone throughout his career.
Harvey just can't quite get clear enough to make an effective kick. Bradley bounces off all tackles. Oh, sneaky little hand pass to Dunlop. He shrugs off Rice, and Dunlop goes long with the left foot towards full forward. No mark. Gleeson roves it well, but can't take it with him. Kane Taylor desperate, and does pretty well, the St Kilda defender, and kicks it wide for Rice to take the mark at half-back, and St Kilda get out of trouble. Rice's kick up towards the centre wing area. The high flyer from behind was Lowy. Rhys-Jones desperate. So is Winmar there for St Kilda, and the umpire calls for a bounce on centre wing.
9 points the difference. And the Blues in front. Rhys-Jones playing at centre half-back on Stuart Lowe. Tap away by Lowe. Bradley couldn't get his kick away. Winmar, who's been very busy, to Kitchke. Kitchke's handball good to Burke, short. Too far for Lockett. Meldrum sits on it. He's got Blackwell, and he's got Silvagni.
Now this is where Lockett is exposed. Look at Silvagni by himself. Lockett back at the 50-metre mark.
Bradley. Now will he go to McKinnon? Yes. Now McKinnon with space. Drop punt. Minton Connell, no. And Taylor gets his third touch since coming on. Wide handball to Nixon. Little kick under pressure. Carlton's tackling is very good. Low. Alvin. Rice, who's got a big cut over his right eye. Jimmy Cracker short. Harvey, who has pace. Good kick. A great kick by Harvey to Kitchke.
And Kitchke now at full forward, Lowe at centre-half forward for Carlton.
Lockett at centre-half.
Lockett at centre-half forward, I'm sorry.
Gee, that was a good mark by Kitchke too, I thought. Out in front of his face.
He's an impressive player.
So Rhys-Jones on Lockett and Silvagni playing on Kitchke. Drop punt. It's a good kick, but just fading away, and it'll be a behind. Breeze taking it. So 3-2 to 4-4. And still, Tony Lockett without a kick as Kernahan to bring it back in for the Blues.
David Kernahan. Nice long drop punt kick outside 50 metres. The St Kilda mark? No, it's a free kick. It could go to Rhys-Jones, who was in front of the pack.
Lowe looks as if he has been moved back to centre-half back on Kernahan, which probably releases Harding into the ruck, with Kitchke now at full forward.
Rhys-Jones at half-back, gives the hand pass off to Blackwell. Blackwell kicks it to no one in particular. Bassett's back, but a great mark taken by Rice.
And Warren McKenzie warming up for Carlton. So
Oh, look at the blood streaming from Dean Rice's eye. The kick back towards half-forward. Blackwell could have marked, but punches. Bradley taps it on. McKinnon dispossessed brilliantly by Harvey. Burke, a little hand pass to Jimmy Cracker. He gives it to Winmar. Winmar with talent, gets out of trouble. Back to Burke. Burke's kick. High drop punt to the front of this goal square. Punched away by Silvagni. Bowie. Shot for goal by Bowie is home for the Saints.
A height on that occasion. Wide, Burke. And McKinnon. And Jeffrey. Still the footy to be won. Now Burke. Pekin. Left handball. Harvey. Harding. Gets around Bradley, and then a little one. Chips it to Winmar, who has some space. And he'll go for goal with a high drop punt. Kitchke. Owen. Bowie. Still Bowie. Handball's okay. Harvey. Wobbly one. Has it gone through? No, it hasn't. So wasted chance, but they're within a kick, within a point. 27 to 28.
Shown some character, Bruce, in the last 6 or 8 minutes in Kilda.
Absolutely. Carlton to kick 4 goals in a row after the Saints led 2-0 early. And it did look like the floodgates were opening. Bowie, Pekin, Bowie. Gets around Steven Kernahan. Lockett gets his first kick. Kitchke and Rhys-Jones. Kitchke did well. Harvey, still Harvey. Will he kick a goal? Just bounces the wrong side and scores a level at the park. And it really is a good game of football, this one.
Well, Don, just quickly, what actually happens to Carlton in the last 6 or 8 minutes? They looked in control. Now
well, we
the Saints
mentioned
have
that.
fought back.
I know, Ian, it's the offensive nature of the game, but maybe they're still going too short with their ball. The only time they looked good was when Gleeson got it in the centre and sent it down long. They've got to do more of that.
David Kernahan's kick in is marked by Steven Kernahan at centre-half back.
He's now in the ruck.
Oh, there's a blatant free kick against Dunlop. Now, Jamie, it was pretty obvious from here. I would suggest that it'd be pretty obvious in your mind too. Harding's kick towards half-forward. Grant's on his own and takes the mark for St Kilda. He plays on quickly. The kick to within goal scoring distance. Lockett. It's punched away by Blackwell. Lockett's tackled. Bowie tackled by Rhys-Jones. Now the Carlton defence under pressure. Winmar into an open goal goes Winmar. Hooks the kick and it's through from behind to put the Saints in front by that score. 4-5 plays 4-4. And we've got 5.5 minutes left in the second term.
Just 1 point the difference. A game of fluctuating fortunes, low scoring, but high on excitement. David Kernahan looking for brother again. Not this time. Quick handball by Taylor. Grant, not very far and not far enough. Kitchke. Owen and Kernahan. Owen in the front spot. Harvey, Bowie, and he has hit the post.
That's where they're winning the ball, just around at the fall of the ball on that forward pocket. It's Bowie and Harvey.
And since he's come on the ground, that significantly St Kilda have got right back into the game.
Yes, he's been busy, Brett Bowie. David Kernahan. Millum Hanna Front spot low with Stephen Kernahan. Winmar's had a very good second term. Rice, high one. Harvey underneath it, and he's got it. And he can go over the top to Kitski, and that's what he's done. And he should go back and kick the goal.
Now, the reason those St Kilda players are out there by themselves is that they ringed the Carlton guys on the kick-out. So, consequently, they had them more or less hemmed in the centre of the circle. The ball came out. St Kilda one possession from the kick-out. They had two players over there by themselves, hence Kitski, the little chip over the top.
25 to 30 metres out, practically straight in front. And he'll go back and have another swing.
It's not often you see that, is it?
Yes, not very confident at all. I wouldn't like to back him.
Well, let's see how good a judge you are, Don, because you're going to have another try.
Gee,
third time lucky.
Very tentative.
Wouldn't want to be a grand final when you're a point behind. Drop punt. What's the result?
Quarter for Carlton. McKinnon just gets his foot to the ball. Majizak nearly kicks it out of Dennis's hands. Burke, well tackled there by Verbeek. Winmar, who's lifted, kicked towards centre-half forward. And a great mark taken by David Kernahan over the top of Owen.
And Minton Connell off and Mackenzie on for Carlton too.
David Kernahan's kick out towards the wing on the members' side. At the back, Majizak. Shepherding is Bassett. Majizak's kick into the forward pocket. Mackenzie can't mark. At the back, Taylor. That might have been out of bounds on the full. It did hit his boot. The boundary umpire may have thought that the boot was over the boundary line before it touched the ball. Just inside 50 metres in Carlton's left forward pocket. Mackenzie doing the ruck work. Over the top low. Nailey. Ball rebounds for a throw-in 40 metres from the Carlton goal. Nailey with a bit of a wry smile on his face. Back after having trouble with hamstrings, Mark Nailey. Mackenzie's tap out the back. Elvin can't break clear. Burke. Jeffrey, a sneaky little hand pass to Harvey. And Harvey, who's doing pretty well. The pass is good to Owen. Owen's in the centre of VFL Park and he runs on. Rod Owen up towards half forward. Out in front, Kitschke, punched away by Rhys-Jones. That player goes after it again. Dispossessed by Jimmy Cracker. Jimmy Cracker's kick up towards full forward. The bounce, where's it going? Over the top of Silvagni's head to Blackwell. And the Carlton players get out of trouble.
Owen doesn't like chasing, does he?
Owen on his own, 1 against 2. Silvagni's kick in towards the centre is good. Mark taken by Bradley. He plays on quickly. One bounce by Craig Bradley onto the left foot. The kick towards centre-half forward. No one home for the Blues. And the mark taken by Lowy at centre-half back for St Kilda.
Well, he had to stand his ground then, Stuart Lowe. And everybody who's played football has been in that position when you know you're under the ball. And he copped a heavy one on that occasion. And Warren McKenzie coming through. It's good to see he's up. And the big utility about to take his kick. Oh, no, it's going across to Nixon, actually. He can't take his kick.
Nixon from centre-half back. The Saints 8 points in front. Into the last 2 minutes of the first half. Dunlop, who's been quite impressive. He's made a couple of mistakes, but he's got his hands on the ball a lot in this first half. To half forward. Jeffrey couldn't take a hard one. Alvin. Jeffrey. Harding over the top with Verbeek. And Stephen Kernahan there. Paul Harding. And again, it'll be a bounce down. Sun shining brightly. Very big crowd in attendance. And it's real nip and tuck. Nothing in it, really. Gleeson tries to barge his way through. Kernahan tries the same trick. Jeffrey. Now it's the Saints' turn to hold up, but only as far as Bassett. To Hannah. Now Hannah from 60 metres with a long one. And Nailey almost. And it'll be a throw-in. So the Blues with one last attack. Less than a minute to go in this first half. And they trail by 8 points. Stuart Lowe doing the ruck work. Knocked on by Frawley. Pekin. St Kilda need a kick away. Gleeson. Pekin. Over the top of it. Harding. Now the Saints. Frawley to Cracker. Tries to break the tackle from Dennis. Kernahan. Quick kick to centre-half forward. Taylor's handball to Laurie. 20 seconds remaining. The Saints look safe now. Lockett on a lead. Silvagni with him. Winmar with great skill. Little kick. Bowie. Meldrum. And time is going to beat them, as there'll be a throw in.
That's unbelievable.
No free kick to Bowie. But the siren sounds, and so at half-time, St Kilda leads Carlton. It's 5-6, 36 to 4-4, 28. And Tony Lockett leaving the arena with just a very, very quiet first half for him. 1 kick and 1 handball. Craig Bradley's had an excellent first half with 11 kicks and 9 handballs. Majazak with him, 8 kicks and 1 handball. But Carlton, who got a break, there's McKinnon, who was very good in the first quarter, has 9 kicks and 1 handball. David Kernahan's been very, very reliable at the back. Jeffrey's been very good for St Kilda, but at half-time, it's the Saints by 8 points. 5-6 to 4-4. 8 points at half-time. Time now for Don Scott's famous chalkboard. And Don, one of the interesting things about today has been the lack of success for Tony Lockett.
Yes, and it was about this time last year that I was at Victoria Park and I saw Tony Lockett playing against Collingwood. And on that particular day, it was David Cloak, the former Collingwood ruckman, was dropping into that position, and his teammate, who was McEwen, was coming over the back, Cloak in front, and that's where Lockett does lead into that area. So he was being cut off there. McEwen then was coming over the back and punching the ball away. Now today, what is happening is that Lockett's still starting off in this position with his immediate opponent, Silvagni. I can quickly spell Silvagni. But the Carlton guys are putting a lot of pressure across there. Now, the ball is coming up very high. Lockett's still leading into this position, and on occasions when the ball has come a little closer to goal, Lockett hasn't moved, but it's been a man-on-man situation, Silvagni, Lockett, and Silvagni has won. I know it's only half a game to go, and last year in this situation, Lockett turned the tables on Silvagni. A very interesting contest, 2 ways of beating a full forward.
In Adelaide, Glenelg, West Torrens at quarter-time. Glenelg 2-1, West Torrens 3-3. Sturt 3-2, trail West Adelaide 5-2. One of the big games, Port bolting away from Central 8-2 to 2-2. The match of the day is Norwood and North 2-2 to 1-2. Norwood a goal in front, and Woodville against South Adelaide. South 2 goals in front, 6-2 to 4-2. Let's join Michael Roberts on the boundary line.
Well, I couldn't get into the Carlton room, so obviously there was a bit of concern there. But I walked up the race with Rod Owen, and Ken Sheldon grabbed him, had a very, very long word with him. Then in the rooms, he beelined Tony Lockett and had a stern word with him, so he wants those 2 players to lift. It was a pretty confident St Kilda room. Ken Sheldon was quite happy with their fight back after trailing in that second term. The potential on the ball got them back, and he praised fellas like Bowie, Harvey, Winmar, and also they must work harder out of the centre to have any chance in this premiership quarter, and the win won't do it for them.
Michael Roberts reporting on the boundary line as the second half about to commence.
Lockett back at full forward for St Kilda. And statistics, Bruce, in the second quarter, St Kilda had 110 possessions to Carlton's 66, and they really fought back well in the second term.
McKenzie off the ground again, and Lockett back at full forward. Second half about to start. Big game in Melbourne on Easter Saturday, and the Saints lead by 8 points before a huge crowd. Jimmy Cracker gets onto a torpedo.
Free kick, Bruce, back in the centre.
Okay, comes back to Carlton.
Bradley,
who in the first half had 11 kicks and 9 handballs.
pretty tiggy touch with free kick, but fortunate for the Blues.
Bradley from right in the middle of the centre square to centre half forward. Dennis in the front spot, and he chips in and takes the mark. Started the game promisingly. First match for 1990. Looks for Kernahan over the back. Frawley. Nayley does very well, but runs out of room and forced a handball over the line.
Good effort by the St Kilda player, Kane Taylor, there, because the tackle was never going to be broken, which is important in that forward pocket. Nayley no chance to snap for goal.
Both Taylor and Bowie did well when they came on in the second term. They gave the Saints a bit of a lift. Kernahan, Gleeson, and again a throw in. They were able to come on after Ken Sheldon brought them onto the ground in the second quarter, and they both did very well. Whereas McKenzie came on for Carlton and couldn't get into the game at full forward. So Kernahan and Lowe. Body against body. Lowe wins this one. Majazak, or no, Bassett, I should say, to Alvin. Alvin finds some space, and then a high left footer. Minton Connell and Frawley in the front spot with Dennis. Cracker, Bassett, Minton Connell. Burke with him, still Minton Connell. Able to get a kick away, but only to the other pocket, and it'll be another throw in. Carlton deep in attack, and Don, they want the first goal.
Well, they've got to bring the ball back into the centre of these hit-outs, and it doesn't look too good from St Kilda's point of view. Low down behind play.
Boundary throw in. Kernahan doing the ruck work. Nailey bumps Jimmy Cracker off the ball. Jimmy Cracker's tackle on Nailey forces the ball over the boundary line, so we'll have another throw in. Stuart Lowe still recovering from a heavy knock. Kernahan gets the tap out. Gleeson, the left foot kick intercepted by Lowe. He does it pretty well. Gets the hand pass off to Frawley. The Saints running out of defence. It's Nixon, who had 10 kicks in the first quarter. Ricky Nixon's kick direct towards centre-half forward. Great mark. Kitchke.
His handball not good. He wanted Bowie. Still Bowie and Hannah. Bowie with pace. Hannah's got him now. Winmar looks for a free kick. Blackwell to Alvin. The Blues repel that attack. Alvin wide. Verbeek. She took a long time to raise a gallop there, and Laurie was able to force it out of bounds. Goals have been tough to get today. Just 9 in the first half. St Kilda 8 points in front. Lowe and Dunlop. Dunlop to Gleeson. McKinnon's handball was good to Alvin. Drop punt. Nailey. Taylor with him. And Taylor did it, and did it very well to Jeffrey. And Jeffrey to Rice, and he's got some space.
I tell you what, this has opened up a real chance for St Kilda. Rice running up towards half forward. Kicks it in the Lockett direction. He falls over. Silvagni keeps his footing. The ball close to the line, and Silvagni prepared to allow it to go over. As Nailey...
Going off the ground, doesn't. That's not good.
No, well, he's been struggling desperately to get back on the field, and it looks like it could be a hamstring again for Mark Nailey, and coming on as Bond for Carlton, the North Hobart recruit, playing in his second game. Gleeson. Meldrum, attempted kick off the ground. David Kernahan taps it out towards the boundary line. Blackwell gets the hand pass out to Bassett. Bassett over the top. Bradley taps it to his own advantage. Majazak's there. Good play by Bradley, but that could have been out on the full. It is. The Majazak kick forced over the boundary line on the full. The free kick to be taken by Jeffrey, and he was quick to pick it up too, Russell Jeffrey. The kick up towards full forward. And a great mark taken by Kitchke.
Oh,
he's dumped the Carlton player. No, the decision's not going to be reversed. Maybe Rhys-Jones making it look a little worse than it really was. So Damien Kitchke, who's already kicked 1 goal. This is a big tester because he's got to kick a 50-metre plus ball. It is distance okay, accuracy offline, and he kicks his second behind. So Kitchke 1 goal 2, and the Saints lead by 9 points. 5-7 plays 4-4.
Now there's the replay with Rhys-Jones and Kitchke, and you can see for yourself what happened as the Blues bring it back in. Ball smothered off the boot, and it'll be a throw in the forward pocket. St Kilda deep in attack, leading 5-7 to 4-4. And in a game where goals are difficult, a couple for the Saints will give them a very good break. Gleeson missed it. Meldrum threw it away. Rhys-Jones safety of the boundary line. Meldrum will get a free kick. Just hanging on too long there against Jimmy Cracker. And Paul Meldrum, one of 10 Carlton players who have survived from that team that won their last premiership in 1987. Drop punt. Low pushed out of the way by Bradley.
Oh, I thought that might have been against Bradley on that occasion.
13 kicks, had 9 handballs. To the wing, Majazak and Jeffrey, body to body. Nixon will help out with a Shepherd. Jeffrey back to Nixon, but put him under the hammer. Then goes in after the top, and it'll be a free kick to Nixon. So Nixon, who in that first term had 10 kicks, as Ian Robertson told you, has now had 18 for the match, or 17. Punch forward by Winmar. Rhys-Jones. Low. Pretty hard to get the footy out there at the moment. Kernahan, it's threatening to rain as well. And a free kick to David Kernahan at centre half back.
Gee, Jamie Dunlop can thank his lucky stars the Saints didn't swoop on that spilled mark. Centre half forward. Now David Kernahan kicks the Blues out towards centre wing on the outer side. A big punch. Finishes with Grant. He's well tackled by McKinnon. Umpire allows play to go on. Harvey swoops on the loose ball. Kicks the ball towards half forward. Cracker. Hand pass is good. Bowie into an open goal. Bowie for goal number 2. He's stopped it.
Perfectly. Without reply. It was 4-4 to 2-1 at one stage. It's now 6-7 to 4-4. That gives you an indication of just how far on top the Saints are at this moment. They've had the last 10 scoring shots in a low-scoring game, and they've kicked 4-6. So Carlton have got to get one back quickly. Winmar towards full forward. Meldrum in the front spot, no free kick. Rhys-Jones, he fended one off, but couldn't get rid of the other. Kitchke, the tackle by Blackwell, good. Lockett, smothered magnificently by Silvagni. It was wonderful footy. Bowie, still no Lockett, and he'll give a free kick away. And Don, I guess the significant thing here is that Lockett hasn't kicked the goal, and the Saints are 2.5 in front.
Well, it speaks volumes of the guys up the ground, doesn't it? The full forward always receives a lot of plaudits, but it's good to see the team out in front with the other guys doing all the work.
Well, I read in the paper where Silvagni had nightmares for weeks after standing Lockett last year. Well, if he can keep going today, he's going to have sweet dreams tonight. But he'd like Carlton to win, of course. Verbeek. Free kick surely to Bond. Must be. Advantage paid. Carlton have got to get something to work. Alvin, McKinnon and Hannah, they want one of them. And Hannah does it, and does it well. Kernahan wants it at full forward in a hurry. Running backwards. Hannah goes with a long one. And it is a long one. Kernahan from behind. Laurie. The Saints are standing firm. Bradley. Majizak. Where are his options? He runs deep to the pocket. Then brings it back. Nixon in the front spot. Dennis magnificently. A one-hander. It needed something extraordinary from where he was, and he was able to produce it.
Well, I think that Carlton are falling down because they haven't got guys on the ground, especially around that full forward line, that when a mark is built, they swoop on it, a la Fraser Murphy. But when they take marks, as Dennis has done, then they are a threat, Carlton.
Drop punt, and it looks straight.
9 points. Bradley a chance to get another possession. The kick across his body gathers 35 towards centre half forward. Under pressure, Jeffrey dispossessed unfairly by the Carlton players. So Jeffrey takes the free kick, gets the hand pass to Laurie. Laurie's kick is okay. Lowy takes the mark, gets the hand pass off to Burke. Burke running up towards half forward, bombs away. Lockett and Silvagni. It's nearly a goal. It could be a goal to St.Kilda. Magnificent kick. Nathan Burke kicks an 80-metre goal. I'll explain. The kick probably went 55 and rolled 25. But what a great effort to score. Carlton being a little bit too Lockett conscious there, with Rhys-Jones over the top. Silvagni jostling with Lockett. The ball goes over and bounces through for St Kilda goal.
So the Saints march on. 7-7 to 5-4 as the sun breaks out at the park. Bradley with yet another kick. Majizak missed it. Jeffrey's been good today. Taylor went without it. Now Jeffrey again. Harvey. The pace is a frantic one at the moment. Taylor with a quick kick. Blackwell underneath it. And he takes it well in front of Cracker.
Has done well today, Wayne Blackwell.
11 kicks and 9 hand passes.
Drop punt to the wing. Bradley couldn't take it. Grant with him. And Jeffrey, the safety of the boundary line. Mark Maley off the ground 5 minutes ago. Hamstring problems, Michael?
Certainly is, Bruce. It's his left hamstring. The doctor ran past and he said he's done it pretty severely as well.
So that's shocking news for Carlton. Mark Maley, who came to the club in 1987, has given them excellent service. Out with a hamstring again. Only as far as Laurie, that kick from Bassett. Wanted to play on. Nixon, biggest kick getter on the ground. To centre half forward. Low, not quite. Cracker. Owen was going to give it away to Harvey, decided not. Around his body, Lockett, and also Silvagni. Silvagni's been just great.
Terrific.
He really has today. Rhys-Jones to Blackwell. 12th kick coming up. Short. Bradley's got it. And Bradley's had 16 kicks and 9 handballs, so he's been a winner as well.
Had a fantastic game, Craig Bradley, in the centre. His kick this time, though, he'd be disappointed with that. He's a very, very professional sportsman, and that was a poor kick. Kick back by Jeffrey, close to the boundary line. Rhys-Jones punches from behind, but Bradley's there. Another possession. That's his 17th kick, up towards half forward.
Oh,
And a good mark taken by Laurie.
thought it might have been Dennis in front on that occasion, but the umpire awarding a 50-metre penalty against Dennis for punching the ball after he had awarded the mark to Grant Laurie. And Laurie playing a very, very serviceable game. The highlight of his game is the fact that he disposes the ball so well.
And he's a good kicked on, and he can put this right into the goal square. He's 60 metres out, drop punt. He's got a lot of distance, deep in the pocket, and the St Kilda mark again to Kitschke, who's really given them something today, not only as a ruckman, but as a high marking forward.
A very impressive youngster is Kitschke. All the attention on Lockett, but it's this fellow that is snuck under the Carlton guard. They will really have to tighten up.
Well, he's tucked away in the pocket, but he's only about 10 metres out. Drop punt, and he has hit the post. Well, bad luck there. 1-3 to Kitschke, and 7-8 to 5-4.
Gee, that was a crucial miss.
Would have been tough for Carlton to get back. It's tough as it is.
They would have needed 4 goals to get to the lead, and they've only managed to kick 5 so far in the game. Silvagni kicks to the outer side. Great mark by Meldrum over the top of Rice outside the 50-metre line. Meldrum kicks it to Elvin. Elvin marks between half-back and centre wing. The pass is okay. Gleeson looking to run on. Jimmy Cracker coming from behind. Gleeson kicks towards half-forward. Kernahan in front. Can't mark. Punched away. Majizak, Dennis. Majizak taps it to the advantage of Bond. And Bond, hard up against the boundary line, kicks it to the face of the goals. And McKinnon takes the mark. He's about 40, maybe a little closer. Between 35 and 40 metres from goal.
Well within kicking distance.
Well,
there.
you would think so, Don. I'm just looking at the flags, and they're blowing fairly well to that main scoreboard end, and the kick's certainly holding up in the breeze going to this end to which McKinnon is kicking. Well, we'll soon know. McKinnon has kicked one. Floating punt kick, hits the post. So maybe justice prevails. The Saints have had a little bit of bad luck. They've hit the post 2 or 3 times, and now McKinnon hits the post for Carlton and registers their 5th behind. Nixon kicks the ball back into play, comes to the members' side, looking for Lowy. At the back, Dunlop sweeps around onto the left foot, gets the hand pass. Not much talking there between McKinnon and Bond. Bond's kick to the front of the square as a floating punt kick. Opportunity for Minton Connell. He misses, but he was under a fair amount of pressure as Jeffrey gets back and pats Danny Frawley on the head for that frustrating tactic on Minton Connell.
The player that Carlton really do miss around the packs is Fraser Murphy. He is a pass master reading the ball under packs. He's not there. He's not playing in the second, so obviously injured. They need little fellows up on the full forward line.
Laurie's kick wide to Lowe. Lowe's handball under pressure to the boundary line. Well, last week Lockett and Minton Connell between them kicked 16 goals. Today, not one. Half-forward flank. Carlton attacking, but trailing 7-8 to 5-6. Kernahan out-muscled that time by Lowe. Bond, who's just come onto the ground. McKinnon round his body to half-forward. Punch away by Taylor. Back to McKinnon and Burke. Winmar. And it'll be a bounce down. At centre half-forward.
Significantly, Winmar hasn't had much of the football in the 15 minutes of this third term. St Kilda perhaps not getting quite enough out of him in this particular quarter.
He was very good in that second quarter when the Saints started to roll. Cracker thumps it on. Dunlop. It was going to be a tough ball, and the big fella did pretty well. Hannah. It's got Alvin short. Alvin over the top to Gleeson. Now Gleeson to Minton Connell if he can get to him. Couldn't. Very well done by Frawley.
Yeah, my word, excellently done.
Now to the goal square. They're outnumbered, the Saints. Front spot, Kernahan.
Great mark.
Oh, Jeffrey gave him a bit to go over.
Yes, I don't think, I wouldn't say reportable, but I would say 50 metres.
Well, he's not going to get it, Don, and he should kick the goal, but he paid him a lot of attention.
Yeah, mainly through frustration. They were more or less slaps at the side. We see here on replay. We didn't see the other couple.
Well, the captain's kicked 2 today, and they want him to kick his 3rd. Practically from the goal square. Drop punt. Goal.
Seeing that Carlton have left their end of the square completely open so they can run the ball through if they get the hit out.
Laurie to Burke. Burke, who's been a good player. Towards half forward, Meldrum can't hold the mark. Held when he didn't have it. Play on, says the umpire. Bowie. Lockett, caught by Silvagni. And he's being penalised. And I thought maybe the advantage rule could have been paid.
And in all credit to Tony Lockett, although he's being beaten, frustration could creep into his game and he could do something stupid. At this stage, a lot of pressure on him, but he's maintaining.
What about the guy playing
head
on him? The last time he played on him, he had 17 shots for goal. What a performance by Steven Silvagni. Kick out towards centre wing. Dennis swooping on it as Bond. Bond's kick around the corner. Oh, Kitchke drops us. Oh, dear, this could be costly for St Kilda. Bradley swoops on it. The little pass to centre half forward, and Dunlop takes the mark. The Blues have got the numbers up forward. Dunlop from 50 metres. A long kick. Minton Connell marks right on the against the behind post, so it'll be a difficult shot.
He's got to move.
Kitchke's mark down here, Don. Gee whiz, he should have had it, shouldn't he? It was Kitchke, I think.
He did fumble that on centre wing there.
Dear, it's amazing how crucial it can be. But Minton Connell's kick is an absolute shocker.
Well, he tried to open up the goal face.
But he's a right foot kick and he tries to kick it with the left.
And this is really the only way he's going to beat Frawley, is to run him around or get the jump on him. He did on that occasion. In man-to-man duels, Frawley will use the stronger body and come out on top.
Rice from the back pocket. Dunlop pumps it away. Winmar to himself. It's got skills. Laurie. Bang to full forward. Quick movement. Lockett, Silvagni. Silvagni again uses his body. Bowie. Kernahan missed it. Bowie. Harvey. Will he kick a goal? It's a good one. It was a very good one. 8-8 to 6-6.
It's a tussle, isn't it?
My word, and Bowie's figured once again. I thought he was disposed of on that occasion, but he got the ball up and got it across to Harvey. Harvey's first goal, he kicked one last week. And Bowie has proved a valuable player right on that full forward line. Hasn't done any work up the ground, but he has swooped on the crumbs and proved a headache for Paul Meldrum.
4 kicks and 6 hand passes, Brett Bowie. 14 points, St Kilda's lead. Jimmy Cracker. Away it goes to Jeffrey. Kick in towards half forward, marked by Meldrum. Meldrum comes out of the half-back area for Carlton. No one to kick it to. In short. Collected well by Dennis. Back to Elvin. Elvin's kick towards half forward. No mark taken. Pekin. He'll get caught. No, he won't. He gets the hand pass away. Jeffrey, who's played a fantastic game across half-back. He's caught. Just gets his kick away. Opportunity for Bassett. He's down by Taylor. Rice. Pekin. Look at the St Kilda players combined. They never gave up at any stage. And it finishes with Jimmy Cracker. 2 bounces. Centre half forward. Jimmy Cracker goes for goal. No, he doesn't. He kicks across the face. And Lowy marks. He plays on. Short pass is marked by Winmar.
They're gaining confidence in Kilda. It didn't look good this time. A quarter ago, it was Carlton who were in control, and St Kilda really didn't have any urgency about their game. But they've struggled back in, and now they're well in front.
Important kick by Winmar. Oh, he's missed to the right. And again, if he'd have kicked that goal, it would have meant 20-point advantage to St Kilda. Instead, it's 15. And Steven Silvagni, who's been locked in a magnificent tussle with Tony Lockett, full back and full forward respectively. Rhys-Jones marks the kick in and gets the hand pass to Alvin.
12th kick. And a good one to McKinnon, who's also been an excellent gatherer of the ball today with 11 kicks and 11 handballs. Dennis underneath it. Matchazak, left for Bond. Handball good to McKinnon. Oh, he's going to be caught. No, Kernahan got a quick kick, but it was under pressure. Nixon didn't mark it. Swooped on by Verbeek. Bradley paddles it out. Laurie, who's been very good, with a high one. Bassett and Rice. Rice goes early. 3 Carlton players, but Cracker against them. Meldrum with experience to Dunlop. A long handball. It's okay. Blackwell to McKinnon. Fumble. Another handball to Gleeson. It won't sit. Tackle by Nixon was pretty good. Gleeson over the top. And St Kilda did it. And they did it beautifully. They pressured and Cracker's got it. He's got Winmar if he wants him. He should go to Winmar. And he does. And Winmar from centre-half forward will bang it to Lockett. He concedes some ground. This is dangerous if Silvagni gets hold of it, because he'll run off Lockett. The big man's with him. Can Steven take it away? And Lockett stays with him. And the crowd roars.
Brilliant football. I'll tell you what, that was great, Bruce.
It was fantastic. It was a contest.
All the way from over here in front of the small scoreboard where you've called St Kilda just persisting, and for that, what, 2 or 3 minutes, wasn't it sensational stuff?
P for pressure. It's one of the things that makes this game so exciting. As Silvagni, who's having a day out, a day he'll remember forever, is about to kick it from the back pocket.
Well, he can't afford to make a mistake because Lockett is so dangerous. The kick by Silvagni's in short. Bradley can't mark. Dunlop probably gives Burke a little bit of space there. The kick by Lowy up towards the full forward position. At the back, Owen can't mark. Kernahan, Jimmy Cracker.
In the back.
Tackled by Bassett is in the back, as Don Scott has called. And Bassett looks up. Jimmy Cracker will have the free kick. He's only 25 metres from goal, and the angle ever so slight.
Too. You could see that, a lay-down Mazaire, definitely in the back by Bassett, travelling at greater speed than what Cracker was, and the only thing you can do is cannon into the fellow's back. You've got to slow down in those incidents, but it doesn't look good for Jimmy Cracker, so he's made him earn that free kick.
Has he had crook knees, or what do you think could be happening?
Well, I don't know. He does not look good at all.
And how important has he been in this third quarter,
He has
Cracker?
been very, very important, especially around the centre.
Has his head hit the ground?
Maybe it was his head.
His arms were pinned and he had no cushion when the tackle was affected.
Well, they've called for more assistance. They haven't called for the stretcher, but they have called for more assistance. Club doctor coming out by the look of it.
Maybe he's just winded, Ian.
Well, let's hope so. He's
he's
quite resilient, really, isn't he? They seem to, both him and...
When you do get winded, it does look worse than what it is.
Well, what an opportunity for Bowie, who started on the bench. He's kicked 2. He's got the ball now. And he could make a bit of a hero of himself here.
Well, it looks like Cracker won't be taking the kick. He's still working on him. And former
He must
Melbourne
be just
champ.
injured. Oh, not injured, winded maybe.
Well, Bowie will give it to him. And can he kick the goal? Got the feeling Jimmy doesn't know where he is at the moment.
Well, I can't understand this because under normal circumstances the kick would have been taken by another player fairly quickly, I would have thought.
Same thing happened last Sunday when Robert Dixon...
Now he's coming off. I think Cracker is definitely coming off the ground.
I was going to say the same thing happened last Sunday when Robert Dixon wanted to give the ball up for Hawthorn, and the umpire waited and waited, and in the end Dixon took the free kick. But not this time. Cracker coming off. Bowie to try and kick his third.
So Britt Bowie with his 5th kick. Kicks for goal. And it looks pretty good. The goal umpire runs across. It's a goal.
And Carlton need the next one. There's about 2 minutes to go in this third term. The Blues will have the wind at their back in the final term, but they didn't take any advantage of that in the second quarter. Dunlop takes off early and wins the tap, but only as far as Pekin. Lowy Can the Saints get another one? Winmar. Quick handball was good to Grant. Grant from 50 metres with a high one. Not good. And Carlton will relieve. Promising build-up again by St Kilda. This is the biggest margin in the match so far, 21 points. 18 shots to 12. Meldrum from the back pocket. Squeezes a drop punt to half-back. No free kick to St Kilda. Blackball. Bradley. Matchazak and Jeffrey. Alvin. Jeffrey. Gleeson. Ran into trouble in the end. Matchazak. Left foot. Dennis underneath it. No one behind for Carlton. Laurie. High one round his body. Jeffrey. Pekin. Handball good to Harvey. Over the top. The Saints are streaming forward. Kitchke. Bowie. Almost held it. Low. Rhys-Jones, was it out of bounds on the full? Lowe says yes. Boundary umpire says no.
And I thought Stuart Lowe took the ball out of Bowie's hands then. Bowie nearly a chance to mark right on the 50-metre line. Dunlop gets the tap out, gets another hit at it, goes back. Pekin's left foot kicking towards the forward pocket. Oh, that's a free kick.
Yeah, holding.
Pretty obvious there.
It was against Silvagni. He was holding. On that occasion, his arms were around the midriff of Tony Lockett.
And gee whiz, that's a big effort, isn't it? To get your hands around,
your arms around,
get your hands around Tony's midriff.
There we are, you can see that.
And Steven, who's done such a wonderful job, Steven Silvagni, in the nearly 3/4 of football, could see Lockett's first goal kicked as a result of that free kick. And it is Tony Lockett's first goal. And the Saints go to a handy lead just before 3/4 time. They lead by 27 points, 69 to 42.
And things really don't look good for Carlton. I don't know what they can do. But while we're waiting on thinking of what they can do, we'll go down to Michael Roberts on the boundary line for a report on Jimmy Cracker.
Well, some Kilda fans can breathe easy because Jimmy Cracker is just winded and he should be pretty right to take his place.
Well, great news for the Saints. Lockett kicks his first. Cracker should play in the last quarter, and they're 27 points in front. Can the Blues stop this run now? Free kick against Winmar to Alvin.
Stiff, very stiff, Nicky Winmar.
And Carlton need one before 3/4 time. Hannah chips a short one. Dennis. Oh, just made it. Laurie.
It's come off again, Bruce, the chipping of the ball, but I prefer them to go longer, straight down the centre. It's taken them 2 kicks to get to the 50-metre line when they could be further down with 1 kick from the centre.
Well, Minton Connell and Kernahan both gave leads. Dennis goes right to the square. Kernahan underneath it. Thumped away at the back. Pekin. McKinnon's got him. Bond gets rid of it in a hurry to Majazak. Free kick to St Kilda. And that's just what they wanted to Nixon. He's got Grant leading, and that's the way he's going to go with Jeffrey there as well. Grant, good tackle by Bradley, an excellent tackle, and it'll be a throw-in.
Bradley looking for the free kick for throwing the ball, and judging on what they've done earlier, he was half a chance, I would have thought.
Well, he was penalised himself for the same thing earlier in the game. Kernahan and Harding. Bradley had a wonderful match. Alvin. Winmar's got him. The Saints are desperate. Gleeson's handball good to Bond. Bond gives it away to Bassett. Minton Connell. Well, he missed one earlier on from the other pocket. Much more acute angle than this one. He's got more of a chance. The better side for a right footer. Frawley, who's done a good job, just as Silvagni has down the other end. And I'd say, if I said they need this, it would be an understatement.
It'd be interesting if Lockett, who's kicked his first goal in this quarter, and the full forward at the other end kicks his first goal in this quarter.
Has he provided the catalyst? Drop punt. Not a bad kick.
Looks a good kick.
It's a beauty. Well, the Blues wanted that. Will it lift them just before 3/4 time? 10-9 to 7-6.
Well, he's had a very quiet day. He was quite sensational last week, Simon Minton Connell. The week prior to that, he kicked 9 goals, 1 in the reserves. He kicked 7-3 last week. And to date, he's only got the 1 goal, but he's had 2 points on the scoreboard. He's got to get away from Danny Frawley. He's got to lead him to the ball. If he matches him man on man, he'll be in trouble.
Only 18 seconds left. Bradley could get the ball out of the centre. Down he goes. Fierce tackle. Majizak on Winmar. Ball comes out the back. Dunlop. Hand pass to Bradley. Blues won't have enough time to score. Gleeson at centre half forward. They need to mark this kick. No one can. So that's 3/4 time in the big clash at VFL Park. St Kilda lead 10-9-69. Carlton 7-6-48.
Let's look at the stats for the first 3 quarters. Third quarter stats we'll look at. St Kilda kicked 5 goals to Carlton 3.
Interesting, the kicks, 57-39.
And the score that St Kilda kicked 5-3 to 3-2. But Carlton having plenty of possessions.
They're going too short.
23 marks to 12.
Well, they're just handling it too much, aren't they? So they chip the ball around, hence the number of kicks, number of marks, because they do chip it around again.
Michael Roberts.
Well, Ken Sheldon was a little concerned that they made so many mistakes with their hands and feet and in front of goal, but he said run it up against the wind. Jezza said run, persist, tackle, and like quarter time, he homed in. Kick long and direct in that third quarter address.
Michael Roberts on the boundary line, keeping us up to date. Just waiting for the seconds to tick over. Well, Carlton didn't use the breeze in the second quarter.
Well, at least they may have, well, they really haven't got, yes, they have got the scoring in, I suppose.
Well, that's the way the flags indicate, Don. It's 10-9 to 7-6. Kitschke and Dunlop. Pekin. Alvin. Pekin. Bradley. Left foot off the ground. Kernahan in the front spot. Harding against him. Kernahan used it and did it well with a handball. Minton Connell. Frawley with him. Now Kernahan. Got rid of it in a hurry and gets a free kick.
Yes, I agree on that occasion.
He was dumped forward, wasn't he, Don, with the tackle?
Well, he was pushed forward, yeah, the
close.
tackle.
Yeah.
But at least the umpire's consistent. I know it was a different one on Cracker, but they're dangerous ones, those. You've really got to pull the guy back. He was going to ground. It
Actually,
really
that
wasn't.
picture there was a better one than what we saw first, wasn't it, when from Kernahan front on.
It's kick 3, the captain.
Gee, this is a crucial kick.
Absolutely.
It's a good kick under pressure.
40 metres out. High drop punt. Very strong. Is it straight? It looks like it is. Well, that's leading from the front. 8-6 to 10-9. Kernahan with 4 goals.
Well, when there's pressure on, there's no man I'd give the ball to except this one here, Steven Kernahan. When the pressure's on, a goal's got to be kicked. I've seen him do it on a number of occasions. That's his 4th goal. And a good kick from a long way out.
A very important kick there. The first blood to Carlton in the last quarter.
St Kilda getting in very well, Ian, around the centre bounce.
Very important, though, Don, isn't it? Very crucial that you don't get the ball clearly away from the centre. Opportunity for Burke. That could have been in the back. He still got the ball, Burke. Dispossessed by McKinnon. Umpire calls for a bounce. Nathan Burke perhaps a little frustrated there. Appealing to the umpire for some sort of assistance, but the umpire will have nothing of that. Kitschke and Dunlop. Kitschke. Dunlop goes after it himself and gathers pretty well. Off to Bradley. And Shepherds. Good play, Jamie Dunlop, to give Bradley a clear kick. Into the pocket. Minton Connell gets his hands to it. McKenzie hard up against the boundary line. Minton Connell has the ball out of bounds. Minton Connell shoots and goals. Well, you must keep going, Saints.
Well, the Saints led by 27 points late in the third quarter. The margin has been reduced to 9. And this crowd of over 50,000 are roaring. Bassett, hip and shoulder by Laurie. Pekin, St Kilda can see ground though. They want a free kick.
That could have been a free kick, but the umpire well, he was a little away from play and he really couldn't see. He didn't have a clear view. But I thought that could have been a free kick.
So
you see there, Jimmy Cracker, he says it was a free kick.
9 points in it.
But everybody can make a mistake.
Well, they're all arguing with the umpire over that decision.
You know, the players have got to realise that the umpires are human. The players make plenty of mistakes out there, and they make the occasional mistake as well.
Lowe and Kernahan. Quick kick away by Rice. Dunlop against the runner.
Oh!
Long handball by Kernahan to Hannah. They might get out of it, Don. Keep your seat there. Hannah towards full forward. There's a wall of players there. Take your pick. Kernahan. What a mark. The captain leads from the front.
Well, Bruce, he's a fantastic player, Steven Kernahan. He has a lot of pressure on him, week in, week out. But his long arms, his long body, and he certainly has some advantage, and he's got great hands.
It's an old adage, an old football saying that as the game goes on, you've got the guys can't jump as high. It's the tall guys that come into prominence. And now we're in the last quarter, and you see tall guys coming into it, such as Kernahan.
Drop punt straight through the middle.
Why were you disappointed when Jamie Dunlop missed the mark? Were you disappointed in his effort, or just...
In his effort, he really had to go then. They're only, you know, they're a goal. They had to score a goal. They had to stand up and be counted. He should have gone that occasion.
Okay, Lowe and Dunlop. McKinnon gets the ball out of the centre. The Blues have done it 4 times in a row. Overrunning at Harding. Kicked out of Kernahan's hands. Harding flips it out. Hannah, who kicks the ball pretty well. And it's no exception. He finds Gleeson. He's too far out to score. The Blues trail by 3 points. Gleeson kicks it to the front of the square. That's punched away by the St Kilda defence. Elvin kicks a goal. Brilliant goal by Tommy Elvin. The Blues are in front. Elvin kicks his second. Carlton lead by 3 points. What a turnaround.
Well, that's what Carlton have been missing. Although he really didn't rove the pack in the a la classical style of running past, reading it off the hands of the pack. The ball comes down, it's punched down, he's there. He was in front of the pack, and that's where Carlton have been missing. It's not the big fellows, it's the small fellows on the ground.
Well, Don, they've kicked 5 goals in 5 minutes, 1 very late in the third quarter and 4 in this term. And I just wonder, those goals that Winmar and Kitschke missed when St Kilda were in control in the third term, will they pay the price for that? The Saints have got to compose themselves now. They've been attacked left, right and centre. Low. Winmar. Will he weave a little magic here? Lockett, they need him here. It didn't get that far. Silvagni. And how good has he been today?
Very
Bruce,
good.
even then he was out of position, wasn't he, Don? He came from behind the 2 players to throw himself on the ball.
Adrian Bassett should have gone a little earlier on that half-back flank. Really didn't run with a full steam of full head of steam.
3 points in it.
Oh, that's a
Kitschke.
shocker.
Well, he was just hoping, I guess, Don. Now Silvagni, Matchazak and Jeffrey. Jeffrey did well there. Matchazak got to it first, but he hip and shouldered him and stood his ground and didn't fall over. Loses a boot, though. McKinnon. Matchazak.
Oh.
Went without it. Might get away with it to Gleeson. Good tackle by Cracker. Handball by McKenzie was good. McKinnon's handball not so good. Hannah can only get it forward a little bit. Bradley, good footy to Gleeson. They steam forward. Minton Connell.
I'll
Lace
tell you
out.
what, Bradley is just so professional, Bruce, behind play. Some of the things that he does, not necessarily the kicks and hand passes, but geez, a professional player.
And Jeffrey down behind plays on centre wing. Whether he's got the cramp, I don't know, but he's sitting on his bottom. A trainer beside him.
Just doing his boot up, Don. Lost his boot and he's okay, I reckon. Just doing his boot up. Now, Minton Connell has kicked 2. He's come alive in the last part of this game. It's a long kick, but it's just to the side. I just get the feeling, Don, that the Blues have used a lot of energy. They'd want to get another goal in front.
Well, isn't this reminiscent of the second quarter when we said that St Kilda really didn't have any urgency about the game, and then they went on with it in the latter part of the second quarter.
The early part of the second term, Don, Carlton looked the goods, but the Saints showed tremendous character. The kick in, Bassett. Oh, gets the hand pass to Bond. Bond into an open goal. Will it come around? No, it doesn't. And it rolls through just inside the behind post for another score to Carlton. So they lead by 5 points, 11-8 plays 10-9. And Alex Jezelenko, oh, he could be coaching for his life, I would think, Alex, on the edge of his seat as Nixon kicks it back into play for St Kilda. Nearly a mark out there to Majazak. He taps it back into within 50 metres. Jimmy Cracker tries to handball it to himself. Jeffrey comes in and gives him a hand. The hand pass goes further back. They've lost 30 metres, the Saints. The kick by Nixon. comes out to the members' side. The race is on. Bassett leads. Rice dispossesses and does it pretty well, Dean Rice. Play allowed to go on. The hand pass goes further afield. Kane Taylor gives it to Winmar, and the dashing Saint runs away from Bond. Winmar goes towards centre forward to St Kilda mark. It's Bowie.
Meldrum has been a little loose, hasn't he?
Well, I suppose a kick like that, it can either slew short or slew long.
But you should be shoulder to shoulder. If you're a backman, you've got to...
Well, if it slews short and he's in front, I suppose everyone gives him the plaudit, don't they? It slews long and fades away with the bruise. Bowie's at the back. Well, kick 3.
3-1.
Could put the Saints back in front. It drifts away and through for a behind. And the Saints, they've just missed a couple of crucial ones, which they probably should have kicked. Silvagni to kick the ball back in for Carlton.
To Kernahan. David, this is. Hugs the boundary line. Goes up to half-back. Rhys-Jones. Meldrum. Beaten by Burt that time. Harvey, who has pace. Long handball. Kernahan. He'll be pressured by Bowie. Bowie over the top. And again a throw in.
Good play by David Kernahan there. He's not quite as agile as Brett Bowie.
It's been a wonderful game. 10-10 to 11-8. It deserved a grandstand finish, and that's what it might have. Dunlop, free kick.
Craig Davenport warming up for St Kilda, so they're obviously going to make a change, St Kilda.
Dunlop with a high one. Centre wing, Kernahan, punched away from him by Harding and Lowe. Still Kernahan. Lowe smothered it well. Harding over the top.
No free kick, St Kilda way.
Well, I don't know whether that's evening up, but Harding gets the free kick in the centre. The change is on. Owen is coming off. The hand pass goes to Jeffrey. Jeffrey bombs away as Davenport gets ready to come on. Kitch gets punched away by Rhys-Jones. The kick by Harvey goes towards goal. Silvagni getting back. Will save and keep the ball in the field of play. He was out. The ball was in. And Steven Silvagni streams away. Kicks towards Hannah. Hannah can't mark the ball. Punched away by Pekin.
Good effort by Pekin.
And it's over the boundary line for a throw-in between wing and half-forward on this members' side in St Kilda's forward half. The Blues lead by 4 points. It's been a fantastic game of football. Lowy over the back. Harvey, he's well caught, but he just gets his foot to the ball. In front, surely a mark to Kernahan. Unbelievable! Oh, umpire.
Well, I thought that David Kernahan controlled that one. And the player just a little late on the scene, punched the ball away, but nonetheless, we're up here as commentators, the umpire's umpiring.
4 points of difference. The Blues in front after trailing by 27 points late in the third term. Gleeson with a little one. Dennis. Bradley. 35th touch. Kernahan and Harding. Over the back. Bond.
Oh.
Off the ground by Matchazak. Dennis. Little fortuitous there for Carlton. Handballs to Kernahan. Will he kick number 6? No. Pressure on him, Alvin. Can't get it up.
Well done, Frawley and Alvin.
Yeah, good footy, Don. And it'll be a ball up.
Gee, that was great stuff. They really did want the ball, both of them, on that occasion. You don't see too many full-blooded runs at the ball, but it was Alvin and Frawley, and both kept their eye on the ball. Well done.
Can the Blues get another one and give them a little breathing space? Matchazak deep in the pocket, and that's not a good attempt.
It was never coming around.
So St Kilda to relieve through Nixon. And Don Scott, who has the fresher legs? Is it the Saints or the Blues?
Well, it's a case of confidence, whoever gets this ball running.
Nixon kicks to half-back on the members' side. St Kilda mark to Lowy. The big fellow. It took a while to get going today. Had a terrible first quarter, but has improved steadily since. The kick up towards the centre. Nearly a mark to Hannah. Winmar just finds enough space to get his foot to the ball. Blackwell. Oh, great gather by Blackwell. The little chip is on to McKinnon, and McKinnon's got 15 or 20 metres. The bounce favours that player. He goes long towards the goal square. At the back, St Kilda mark to Harding, who read that pretty well. Harding in the back pocket. Short passes on. Pekin, it's a little short for that player, but he's able to gather. The sweeping hand pass. Good play by Laurie. Grant. Taylor. Saints get out of trouble when they looked a little dicey. The kick is short. Kernahan coming in as Bassett, and he gathers it pretty well. Bassett's left foot kick towards half forwards, a Carlton mark. Dennis.
He stands his ground well, Richard Dennis. He should have been spotted earlier by McKinnon as he broke around the wing. He was by himself at centre half forward.
Interesting article in the paper on Thursday night from Robert Wall saying that he thought that this player is vital to the Carlton forward line, Richard Dennis. He goes for goal. The drop punt is coming back. It's a goal to Carlton.
Points in it, and the Blues have kicked the last 6 goals of this match. They've kicked 6-2 to a point since late in the third quarter. And will they add to that? Dennis. Caught.
He's gone.
Yeah, he had some options and he was too slow. And they've given it up. Well,
umpire's taking it back too.
Rice has got to give it back.
He was gone, Rice. I thought that maybe he would have let that go.
Now, the umpires at least are consistent, Ian. If the infringement happens before the ball has left the area, they bring the ball back.
Nixon to the centre. Dunlop and Lowe.
Too strong, Lowe. Oh, very lucky.
High one by Burt. Rhys-Jones and Kitschke.
Oh, great mark.
Well, he's got great skills. Hannah.
He's got Silvagni out wide.
Yeah, very wide. He's got to kick it at right angles to him, but he decides to go to Majazak. And Jeffrey. Danger here because Grant's onto it.
Gleeson's onto Grant.
And ran for about 50 metres to get him. So that was terrific footy by Gleeson. Majazak's kick not all that good, but it might come off. Mackenzie's handball to Bond. Can he get it to Kernahan? Kernahan round his body, but not this time. And it'll be a relieving kick for the Saints.
They're still not confident, Carlton, are they? They're really scrambling, pushing and shoving, scratching, getting the ball forward.
Well, that's about what they have to do, Don. They've got to be pretty desperate in this circumstance. Bradley gets the ball back in towards goal-scoring distance. Mackenzie tries to get it to Dennis. He goes after it again, Warren Mackenzie's pulled off it by Nixon. Gleeson hard up against the line, and a great smother there by the St Kilda player. Was it Taylor back there? No, it's Devonport. And it's over the boundary line.
I thought he was a good player in the first quarter, Devonport, yet they took him off the ground.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to read some of the coaching decisions, but there you go. So Mackenzie doing the ruck work with Stuart Lowy. Lowy over the top, a big thump near the 50-metre line. Bradley dispossessed by Taylor. Taylor still has the ball, and he's being penalised. He's play on. Bassett goes for goal. Bassett, he's dogged it.
After holding sway for 3 quarters. Well, this is Carlton at its best in the last 15 or 20 minutes.
Gee, Craig Bradley's done well, the man on screen there.
24 kicks and 13 handballs. Plus all that work off the ball that Ian Robertson was talking about. Another handball to Blackwell. Kernahan. With him Harding. Still Harding. Goes to ground. Should get a free kick. Burt. Little one to the boundary line. And suddenly, it's St Kilda that are under extreme pressure.
Just talking about Craig Bradley, back in 1986, they tabulated how far he ran in a particular game, 28 Ks. Would you believe?
Well, he might have matched that today, Don. It's a big ground and he's been everywhere. And he's there again. Dunlop. Cracker, who's been quiet since being injured. Jeffrey. Kitschke. Bowie with Meldrum. Grant. Bowie had the fumbles. Blackwell. Bassett. Kernahan to the wing. Free kick to Rice.
He had to do something then, Millum Hannah. A professional free kick. You couldn't criticise him on that occasion.
Dean Rice from centre wing. Short. Oh, couldn't take it there, Grant. Kernahan with him. And a bounce down. Well, what can the Saints do? They've got to kick 3 goals, and Ian, they haven't been able to manage one in this final term.
They just can't get any impetus out of that centre when the centre bounce occurs, and I think their smaller players are struggling a bit. Winmar has been very much out of it, so has Jimmy Cracker when they need a lift. The kick by Taylor slews off the side of his boot, and it's out of bounds in the right forward pocket for St Kilda. There's Dean Rice, who's played a terrific game for his side. He's been striving hard all day with 13 kicks and 4 hand passes. The Blues lead by 16 points. It's 40 metres from the St Kilda goal. They desperately need something. Dunlop gets the tap out. Grant, Bond. Grant taps it back. Blackwell's there for Carlton. Still playing it in front of himself as Wayne Blackwell, and he gets it out to Elvin. On to Bond. Bond can't break the tackle. Elvin's there. Hannah. Bassett. Now Taylor for St Kilda. The kick up in the Lockett direction with Silvagni. Silvagni has killed Tony Lockett, and he gets the ball away again. And if Steven Silvagni can earn votes with having statistics like 8 kicks and 3 hand passes, well, he'll certainly get a couple from me.
That's unbelievable, because that man in screen there, number 4, Tony Lockett, is one of the strongest, if not the strongest man in league football.
Dunlop. Good tap to Blackwell, who's been very good today. Over the top, Burke. Crashing his way through was Bond. Alvin. Kernahan and Harding.
Son.
Yeah, the Sun for sure against Harding there, and Dennis has got it. Goes long, hoping for Minton Connell. It bounces. Nixon couldn't take it. It was a hard one running against it with McKenzie, and a throw in. So Carlton with 6 goals, 2 in this final term, to 1 solitary behind. Got a pretty big break here with just over 6 minutes remaining. And St Kilda have really got to get a goal in the next minute or 2. Low over the back. Gleeson with a quick kick. Minton Connell. Well, he's been able to get away from Frawley.
Not too often, Bruce.
He's played well, though, Don, don't you think?
Oh,
I mean,
not as well as he did last week, Ian.
But he's persistent.
Well, he has to persist.
You can drop your bundle up there if you don't get the ball.
Well, you've really got to
persist.
persist.
Kept his head up nicely.
And this time he's in front of Frawley.
He's kicked 2. And if he kicks his 3rd, it should wrap it up. Drop punt. Looks a good kick.
What if you could build a new FM radio station?
2 points, the bounce back in the centre. There's only 6 minutes left. Carlton get clear again through David Kernahan. His kick goes high. Hannah played reasonably well. Gets the ball to Elvin's advantage. Gleeson back to Elvin, and Elvin lets it slip through. Unusual. Pretty reliable as Tommy Elvin. He still gets his kick away into that right forward pocket. Nixon dives back, but he can't control the ball.
They're still not handling the ball properly, are they, Carlton? They're just not handling it confidently.
Well, if they can get through this, it just may be the fillip they need. McKenzie doing the ruck work in front of Lowy. The ball comes out the back to Jimmy Cracker. The left foot kick by Jimmy Cracker is close to the line. It's out on the full. So the free kick to be taken for Carlton by Tommy Elvin. And his statistics would be pretty impressive, I would think. 17 kicks and 4 hand passes. And he's kicked 2 goals as well. One was a very important one earlier in this quarter. Elvin's kick into the pocket. McKenzie taps it to the back. Minton Connell pushed off it by Frawley. McKinnon. Dennis. He's crashed over the boundary line by Laurie. Will have a throw in